What's up, dudes? It's cold as fuck outside. I'm just sitting outside taking a little break, getting some fresh air. So there might be somebody, and it just came across like this. I lost one of my gloves. Actually, I think somebody stole it. A glove fell out of my pocket, and clearly I am a Jedi, so they may be wearing it around, pretending they're Darth Vader. How fucked up is that? But anyways, back on topic. Racists. Yeah. Okay, so there might be, Spirit is pointing this out, there might be, and this is how it comes across, there might be a black person who's being super racist towards white people. So, it's true that, critically think, I am not a white supremacist. I think there's room on planet Earth for everybody. I think everybody is the same level of respect. I used to work at a shelter for abused and neglected kids, and I can tell you this, there was the same amount of white kids as there were black kids there, and little white boys and little black boys cry the exact same. I had both of them on my lap and wiping away their tears. Multiple times with multiple kids. So how this lesson is coming across is there's a black person who's openly racist towards white people. Yeah, well, here's the deal. This is what Spirit wants us all to understand. Whatever color skin we are in this lifetime may not be the color of skin we were in every lifetime. So if you don't transcend the lesson of racism, or really any lesson, that's what we're here, that's what our soul's journey is, to ascend to higher vibrations. And if you aren't transcending those lessons and you're getting stuck in your ego and you're digging your ego in really freaking deep, you are not ascending. You are like staying in Grossville. You may even become the mayor, the freaking president of Grossville. Yeah, the goal is for you to be in Healdville. So Spirit has been pointing out all sorts of hypocrites. So here's what we have to remember. If you don't transcend the lesson, Spirit may have you in your next lifetime live an experience from the opposite perspective. Because the bottom line is Spirit is trying to get you to transcend the lesson of this divine knowledge. And the divine knowledge is that we are all these little love light bubbles inside of us, and our bodies are just vehicles. All our little love light bubbles inside of all of us are all the same. So a black person who has no problem being openly racist towards white people could have been a slave owner on a plantation in a past life. This life, they just happen to be black, but they're still fucking racist. They haven't transcended the lesson. If you don't really look at hypocrisy, you are not ascending to higher levels. If you are being willfully ignorant to the truth, you are not ascending to higher levels. You are letting your own ego make really bad decisions for you. And people at higher ascensions are watching you looking like a buffoon, a hypocritical buffoon. So there's a bunch of people right now that may have the death of the ego. And there are a bunch of people that are understanding that we are truly little love light bubbles inside. And power flexing on anybody because of what they look like is completely unacceptable. It is completely unacceptable. And Spirit is pointing that out. And that's racism for anything, no matter what color. But there aren't people who get free passes who say, no, well, no, that's not racism. No, if you, bottom line, brass tacks, I hear, the real nitty gritty. No matter what color skin you are, if you're judging another person by their color of skin, you're a fucking racist. And it's time to stop that behavior. For those who have already transcended that lesson, Spirit says, way to go. We are going to be calling karmic rewards shortly again. We're reaching into the satchel for our inner child. And Spirit says you have transcended those lessons. So pay attention to the peoples whose names come out in the next reading. They have transcended the lesson of racism. All right, let's see what happens. What side of the blueberry you on? Are you... What team you on, dudes? What does that mean? What side of the blueberry are you on? That is from a clip here on YouTube. It's called The Unbearable Lightness of Being a Nazi. That's why it's very important that we understand the full depths of propaganda. And what propaganda means, if you don't know, it means mind fuckery to create a false reality, to mind fuck people to be on their team. That's what propaganda means. And the Nazis were excellent. They were excellent. And that's how they were able to get, let's just think, Germany is approximately the landmass of Minnesota and Wisconsin together. Let's just, oh my fucking God. Yep, that's how little. In the end, all those fucking Nazi dudes were taking methamphetamine. They were a bunch of tweakers. They were getting vitamin shots, yeah, every day of methamphetamine, and a bunch of fucking demonic, ego snob, narcissist psychopaths from an area the size of Minnesota and Wisconsin were able to mindfuck so many people that they killed millions and millions of people, murdered. Now, however, I'm not talking about the war that's going on right now. That's completely, I'm not talking about anything about that. I'm talking about history on what happened to Jewish people. And I recently saw this. It was really interesting. I wish I would have been able to find the link for it, or I never saw it again. It was like this moving graph GIF thing, or whatever they're called. And it talked about this at the date, and then it showed the major religions and where religion fell within populace around the whole world. It showed the amount of people that are actually Christian, Muslim, whatever religions. And it was astonishing. The very, very bottom, so tiny, was Jewish. And I said to myself, oh my God, I didn't realize there wasn't that many Jewish people. And then it hit me. It hit me like a fucking Mack truck. Yeah, because they all got murdered. I feel like I'm in an old-fashioned cloak thing. I feel very 1800s right now. Now I feel like I'm in flapper time. Like the 20s. Like I hear old Hollywood glam. So it's very important that we pay attention and we never forget, ever forget. We should always study the Holocaust because it can happen so fast. It can happen so fast. A group of people saying, this is another group of people that we hate. We have now cut all empathetic cords to these other people as human beings, and they are nothing more than a rat that needs to be exterminated. That's the end goal of propaganda, to cut the emotional connection from one person to another as a human being and put up false reality in your head that that person is no better than a rat that's come and infested your place. You will find with German propagandists in the films, they were so good at mindfuckery, like subliminal mindfuckery, that they would show Jewish people and they would have as many people in the frame of the actual film shot, all huddled together, trying to get them with like head things on and looking all sketch. They're all jammed in the frame because they're trying to mindfuck you to think they're rats. And then they go back to a German and there's maybe like 2 or 3 Germans in the frame. Then they go back to talking about Jews. A bunch of them in the frame, just walking around. Complete mindfuckery. And the cool thing, though, is there is some video before the war. I'm going to see if I can find it. And if I can find it, there's like AP Soul School class going on right now. Free Soul School. If I can find it, I'll put it in the comment section of this reading. There is one like movie reel shot, video shot. You gotta remember there wasn't a lot of people walking around with video cameras before World War II. But there is somebody who set up a camera in a Jewish neighborhood before the war. And you watch this immaculately tailored woman in, it's like in my memory, it's like a woman in an immaculately tailored suit dress just walking on by. There's a rabbi walking by. There's 2 businessmen well dressed walking by. And they are, of course, they were just like everybody else. And the mindfuckery was so bad that I got neighbors whose children played together, who borrowed you an egg, who made you a birthday cake on your birthday. Yeah, they turned each other in to get killed. So that's why it is so important that we always watch for people saying, this is a group of people to hate. We're going to make sure this group of people doesn't exist. We're going to make sure they don't have any rights. We have decided that these are vermin that must be eradicated. And that can never happen again. So that's why it's important to do self-work, to identify what's happening around you, to understand your journey is a solo journey for you, to not be willfully ignorant to the truth. That means I refuse to surrender to the truth. That means not partaking in, well, my team will Yeah, well, it's okay if my team cheats because it's my team. So sometimes that when your mind starts expanding, you may lose people you used to resonate with. You may radically change your mind about things. Spirit may lift up veils where you have to do self-reflection, and you may find you're totally fucking grossed out about whatever behavior. And if you're at a point in your awakening, it's called the shameful day, where spirit forces you to look back on something shameful you did, and you're like, I'm a piece of fucking shit, this is shameful, this is the darkest night of the dark night, I should never have done that, I feel like horrible. Whatever that is, just understand that's part of the cleanse, and everybody has a shameful day. So you are not a piece of shit. You are somebody that is ascending in vibration. And you probably have a big divine mission if you can get out of your own way. If you can learn to look at others as light bubbles inside. If you can understand there's enough room on planet Earth for everybody. Then spirit will work with you. And life gets so magical and fun. But it's a practice. And you have to practice at it. I hear Bertha Benz. Yeah, I see that commercial. That's a great commercial. I feel like Bertha Benz right now. You are going to have people who don't understand your journey. You know how many people think I'm a witch? How many people think I'm crazy? People who haven't taken the time to even look at the Starseed transmissions, they still haven't fucking followed directions. People who project onto me what they want to see rather than the truth. Witch! Maybe I'm just a divine feminine showgirl. Smart, artistic chick that sometimes people, it's called divine sensuality. Some people have this vibration to them that can trigger lower vibrational people. It's just kind of how you are. And sometimes people say it's that it thing. It's that person just has that it thing. Yeah, they're probably high functioning spectrum. It's probably what it is. And there's certain people that it's destined to be able to be the front of the house people. The galactic professors. The people who accept the challenge. The people who never give up. All those kind of people. But you have to understand there are people that are in such Grossville, they can't even comprehend what your journey is. And they will act out upon you. Trolls. What else? They will ego jizz on you. They will hardcore project onto you. Yeah, and then what happens is they will act out on you, and then spirit will somehow remove a veil or send in a tower or something, and they are forced to see you for who you are, a cool person. They are forced to admit they made up a completely false reality about you. And then they have a huge tower. So some people are galactic agents. And a tough mission is to be a divine feminine showgirl with divine sensuality. It's like Marilyn Monroe energy. Marilyn Monroe was spectrum-y and fucking smart. But people couldn't. It's like, no, you have to be a dumb blonde. It takes a genius to play a dumb blonde. I hear that. So some people are like a calculator. They error out. No, you can't be who you say you are. You say, no, I am. No, you cannot be. Yeah. So let's all tip our hat to Bertha Benz. So Spirit, yeah, that's a Mercedes-Benz commercial that they did as a little short film that was just amazing, and it's exactly what I'm talking about. So I think that's the rest of the message. See you later, dudes.